So today I'm going to be giving you guys some advice or some tips on how to get started as a freelance makeup artist. This is like the number one misconception or the number one question that I get is, do you have to have your makeup license or your makeup certification? So for one, there is no such thing as having a makeup license. You can be a licensed cosmetologist, but as far as a makeup artist, you can be a certified makeup artist and have your makeup artist certification. It's not necessary. To be honest, I feel like getting your certification in makeup is kind of like old school, kind of traditional at this point. I feel like everyone nowadays is self-taught, but at the same time, I do not regret going to makeup school. It teaches you not only like how to do makeup and makeup techniques and makeup skills, but other things too. Like I learned some special effects makeup. They teach you a little bit about photography, well, in my school at least. They teach you about like photography and lighting, how to network and how to promote your business, which I will also get into and which is very important. They teach you about pricing. They teach you about like sanitary and hygienic procedures while doing makeup. It's not just learning makeup in makeup school. So I took a lot away from that, and that has kind of helped me to get where I am now. I think the first step, which is kind of obvious, is you have to invest in a kit. And I'm not saying to go out to MAC and to buy every foundation color from NC15 to like NW45, because obviously that's a lot of money. If you have the money right off the bat to invest in this new like passion of yours, that's amazing. But for myself and probably everyone I know, you're starting from the bottom, you're starting from scratch. So, you know, you don't have money to be like buying all these things that you're gonna need. So you have to start off small. Some brands I would suggest looking into are like BH Cosmetics. I remember this one I think was my first eyeshadow palette that I ever got. It's just like a neutral, look, one of them is missing. It's just like a neutral eyeshadow palette. And then I got this like 120 color palette, which I remember at one point BH was so poppin' and like everyone had these palettes. But you definitely want to start off with something like this because you're getting so much for so little money. And then also too, BH Cosmetics has everything. They have eyeshadow palettes, they have blush palettes, they have concealer palettes, foundation palettes. So it's best to start off there where you're getting a lot for your dollar. Some other ones are Coastal Scents. Morphe obviously is very popular now. They have great brushes for a great price, and again, there's always someone with a coupon code for Morphe. Sedona Lace, I have a couple Sedona Lace brushes from when I started, and Makeup Geek has the individual shadows that are like $6 each, which I wouldn't suggest doing individual shadows if you're just starting out because that can tend to be expensive. I would say start off with like a pre-made palette, and then once you gain your clientele, once you have more money coming in, then you can invest in better things. With your makeup kit, you're obviously going to need some type of makeup case or like carrying case to have your kit. I have two different ones, which is going to be kind of hard to show because they're big, but I have two. I have like a wheelie one, which I use when I'm doing like a lot of people, like maybe like 3 or more people. I'll bring that because obviously I'm going to need a lot more makeup. If I'm doing like 1 or 2 people, I will use this one, which is a lot easier to carry. This is the traveling case from MAC. A makeup case can be an investment too. Like, these can be expensive. The most popular one is the Zuka case, which is also like a really big wheelie. They also come in like a book bag form for the Zuka cases. That's like what most professional makeup artists use. But you're gonna need something obviously to house all the makeup products that you will eventually gather. When you're investing in your kit, it kind of seems like, damn, like I'm spending all this money to buy all this makeup, and you know, you're just starting out. You don't necessarily have a clientele, like a normal clientele that's coming to you, but in the end it'll be worth it. Second thing I would say is to look into pro discounts. A lot of brands that have pro discounts. I have some stuff written here. MAC, Makeup Forever, Inglot, Anastasia, House of Lashes, Sigma, and Ricky's here in New York City have makeup artist discounts. That probably isn't the best advice for like beginners starting from the scratch, because obviously to have a pro discount you have to have some type of experience or credentials under your belt. So for example, MAC, I'm just going to give MAC as an example. They have 3 different levels of a pro discount. The first one is like the student discount, which you get 20% off. If you're enrolled in a school for makeup or a cosmetology school, all you have to do is like show proof of enrollment and like give your driver's license or your IDs for proof of identification, and you get 20% off. So you don't necessarily already have to be some type of professional to have a discount. You just, you know, it's a student discount. And then the next level is 30% off for like actors or models or photographers, because obviously if you're a model and actor, you're gonna need makeup and you're gonna have to do your makeup at some point if you don't have your own makeup artist. So they get 30%, and I'm not sure what the credentials are for that because obviously I'm not an actor or a model. Then for makeup artists, it's 40%. And usually the credentials, and this falls under like a lot of different brands, not just MAC, usually one of the credentials is your business card, which I'm also going to mention too, which is very important. Your actual certification, your makeup certification, or your cosmetology license, which once again is not completely necessary, but it does end up being worth it for things like this, because you know that's proof that you know you are a professional and you did go to school for it. So that's one credential. When you're more higher up there, if you're listed under IMDb, then that's a credential. If you have like a call sheet or anything like that, that's another credential. There's like, it's usually like a list of credentials and you have to have at least 3 of them to qualify for the discount. And then business cards. So business cards seems pretty like old school and kind of old fashioned, but I cannot stress enough on how important a business card is. And that's the mistake that I'm making right now. I had business cards at one point and I handed them all out. I got excited. I ran out and I don't have any more right now. I've probably lost so many clients from not having business cards. There's been plenty of situations where I've been, you know, on a makeup job doing someone's makeup, and you know there's always going to be like people around, people watching, because they're interested, they want to see what you're doing, and they're like, oh, I have a birthday coming up, or my sister's baby shower is coming up and she needs a makeup artist, do you have a business card? And I'm just like, no, but you can take my Instagram. Like, that is so unprofessional, and for me right now that's a huge mistake that I'm making. And it's just easier, like it looks more professional on your end, and it's just easier to just pull out a card and you're like, here's my number, here's my email, here's my Instagram, here's my YouTube link. And that's another thing too, you want to have a makeup artist email. You don't want it to be your regular like princess718@aol.com email. Like, you know, that needs to look professional too. So I have like a regular personal email, and I have like a makeup artist email for people to book me through there. So I would really suggest getting business cards. Business cards can be very inexpensive. You can go on Zazzle.com. That's the first website that I ever used to get my business cards, and they have super cute like templates for makeup artists, like with like a little lipstick or a little like blush. Or you can go on Vistaprint for makeup artist business cards. Okay, so at one point in your makeup career, you're gonna have to do makeup for free. And I know that probably sounds like it sucks and you're like, oh, I'm not doing anything for free. But again, when you're just starting out, you know, you have to start somewhere. This website called Model Mayhem, I'm not really like actively on it anymore, but I was at first. And from there you meet lots of like other photographers that are needing the service of a makeup artist. So one time I did a free gig for a fashion show, and it was the most tiring, exhausting thing. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm so tired. I lugged my makeup case all the way over here to do this shit for free. But from that, one, you gain exposure. So I met other makeup artists, I met photographers there that eventually I ended up working for, or, you know, working with. and then also you gain experience under your belt. So especially for something like a fashion show where it's just like quick, like very quick pace, you know, you're doing faces quick, you're on to the next person, and you're just learning how to do different skin tones and different skin types, which is very important. So yeah, free gigs are like just a must. Obviously after a while you're not going to want to do anything for free, and then that kind of leads to pricing. Pricing is even something that's kind of hard for me now. I feel like sometimes when you tell someone your price, they're just like, oh, like I don't want to pay that much. And then if your price is too low, they're like, oh, why is their price so low? Like, are they not good at what they do? So pricing is something that I also learned in makeup school, which helped me out a lot. Obviously when you're first starting out, you're not going to charge someone $75 to do a face. For pricing, you have to include a couple different factors. One is your kit. Obviously, like I mentioned, you're investing a lot of money in your kit and you're using your product on other people, and you're gonna have to replenish your product. So that's not free. You have to include that in your charge. You're traveling. Are you taking a cab where you're going? It could be like a $25 cab going and a $25 cab coming home. That's $50 right there. If you're driving to your clients, are you driving over a bridge and are you paying a toll? That's a charge right there. And just your time. Like usually when I have a makeup job, I'm requesting the day off from work, and you know, I'm dedicating my time to that person. That's my time that I'm giving you, so you charge for that also. It's just a bunch of different things. Once you gain enough confidence and enough skill, you can start to raise your prices slowly. Promoting on social media. That's probably the most obvious thing that you can do. You want to promote everything and on every social media platform that you can. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Tumblr, whatever the hell you have, promote yourself on there. Have your friends promote you. Have your family promote you. Another big thing is to take pictures of everything you do. That can be tricky because sometimes people are a little insecure about taking a before picture because they look a mess, they don't have their makeup on, their hair isn't done. Document and take pictures of everything you do for two reasons. One, you'll see your growth that way. I look back at pictures of people's makeup that I'd done like 2 years ago and I'm just like,
oh my god, how did that person even pay me?
You see your growth and you look back at your pictures from when you started to where you are now, and you see your progression, and it makes you feel good. And also, you want to take pictures to be able to promote your work and to showcase your work, because usually if someone's booking you as their makeup artist, usually the two things they say is, how much do you charge and can I see your work? So you have to have some type of portfolio, which having an actual physical book portfolios is kind of old school. Everything is digital now, so you want to have pictures of your work to show. Also, just practice on your friends, practice on your family, practice on whoever you can get, and take pictures of them. And then the number one thing is not like a tip, it's just like advice I can give is never think that you're done learning. There's always something to learn. There's always someone to learn from. So there's always new, like look at the whole baking technique that came out and how popular that became, and contouring and highlighting and brows. There's always going to be a new trend that you need to learn and that you need to pick up and perfect. So your learning is never done. And I'm always, with MAC, I'm like always going to trainings, I'm always learning new things, and you have to be open to that. If you think that you're a makeup artist and you've done X amount of faces and now you consider yourself a pro makeup artist and you're just you're the top of the top, no, there's always something to learn. I think I talked about everything. I'm not going to talk too much about like working for MAC or how to get hired at MAC, because I feel like that's a whole separate video and I don't even know if I want to get into that. Maybe, I don't know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next